as young commissioners, we talk about safety in Sutton a lot. We've talked to young people around the borough. That's through youth summits, surveys, and just general meetings. So many young people are currently worried about safety in Sutton, and we would like to know what's the council doing to prevent those crimes from happening, or that antisocial behaviour that's happening in the high streets really frequently. And so what's the council doing about it?
So the council's doing a lot, and a lot of it is behind the scenes, which is probably why you don't see a lot of it. So we come together. We've just moved our community safety department into children's services. And I think that's the right thing to do, because that means that we've got people who are expert on children's services talking to people about community safety and how we can ensure that all our young people are safe. We've talked about physical spaces, so having safe spaces, a conversation that we're having with businesses and shops when you're in the high street, I think is important. We need to be doing more work in the schools. So the police, the local police, have their school teams that go into all the schools to talk about not just how you keep yourself safe, but also what's appropriate behaviour. I think we all need to be more conscious of the impact of what we do on each other. So older people need to recognise there's nothing wrong with young people being boisterous and being a bit noisy. Younger people need to realise that if they are being a bit boisterous and pushing around a bit on the bus, that upsets some older people. So it's about how we're kinder to each other. But the fact remains, and I'm not avoiding it, that there are burglaries, there are various thefts going on. It tends to be mostly in the high street. So if you look at the statistics of where crimes are happening, the vast majority, huge majority, are happening. But it's more about the shoplifting, the theft of mobile phones. That's often just 2 or 3 people who are up to no good. And I was really pleased to hear from the police last week. They've made 3 arrests, and as a result, there hasn't been a single instance of shoplifting in the high street. So it is about ensuring that the police have the information that they need to make the arrests. We need to get better about reporting crime when it happens. I hear too many people saying, oh yes, this happened, what's the point of telling the police? The only way we're going to get more resources into our borough, more police resources into our borough, is if we report everything that happens so that we can justify it. Because so often, sadly, a lot of our police resources are sent off to Croydon, because we're linked with Croydon, as you know. And there's a lot more bad stuff happening in Croydon. So it's really important that people report bad when something happens. We've got opportunities to talk to each other about other hotspots, other places where people don't feel safe. And that's where the council really comes into its own, because we can think about how we can improve the lighting. There's a particular alleyway in the ward that I represent as a councillor where there was some drug dealing going on, but it's because there were some big gaps in the hedges and they were able to hide in there, so we closed up the gaps. There's some things we can do to the physical environment that will help. And we need to support the police, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are going to be arresting the people that are the cause of the crime.